Kia ora koutou, Markie here. Anybody notice anything different, by the way? So, welcome to the channel. This is going to be, I was going to say fast and dirty, but actually it's going to be squeaky clean because this is a video about cleaning. So, first of all, if you're new to the channel, this is a channel which is full of substance, but absolutely no style whatsoever. So the cameras are all the way around, and sometimes it's shaky, sometimes the background's a bit iffy, sometimes the sound's not great, because what we do is we just shoot stuff when we feel the drive and the passion, and that way I'm able to put lots of videos up. If I waited until I had the camera stand and everything kind of all kind of tweaked, then I don't do any videos. So there you go. So it's a conversational style. It's like having a little chatty poos between the two of us. If you don't like that, this isn't the channel for you. Let's part as friends. If you do like that style and this is your thing, this is the channel for you. So, cleaning hacks. Now, I'm not known for doing a lot of cleaning. I have pathological demand avoidance, and I actually find domestic tasks are really difficult. The level of avoidance that I have for domestic tasks is huge, despite the fact that often I quite enjoy them when I get going with the stuff like that. So I quite enjoy cleaning when I do it. I find I also kind of really go to town on it. I'm not very good at kind of doing half measures. So if I clean something, it's like kind of deep clean, and then I'm usually knackered afterwards. So a couple of things I've learned that I want to share really is that basically most of the cleaning products that you buy, are not very effective. And are frankly a rip-off. I think we're being fleeced. I think with these kind of cleaning products that we buy. Now, I'm not talking here about disinfectant, okay? And I know that's a big thing at the moment about cleaning surfaces and keeping them disinfected. I'm talking about just keeping things free of dirt, free of being soiled in whatever way. So yes, there's an extra need for disinfecting surfaces at the moment, and I'm not going to talk about that. That's a whole different thing. It's important, and I'd say do it, but that's not what I'm going to talk about today. So a couple of things really, just where we're being ripped off is cleaning things like sinks and baths, okay, which sometimes acquire grease, particularly baths. If you use essential oils in the bath, then you often get what my parents always used to call a tide mark. The kind of the mark ring around the bath around where the water level was, where the oil collects. All you need to get rid of that, don't use anything fancy, is washing up liquid. Washing up liquid is brilliant for almost every form of cleaning, okay? So just use washing up liquid and a Brillo, and that will clear that, okay? So anything that's greasy, washing up liquid, okay? You can, and sometimes laundry stuff can be quite good actually. What I sometimes do when you get to the end of a bottle of laundry liquid, I'll use that for washing things, as long as you rinse it off really well. So that's kind of the first one, and then the second one is this is the real rip-off. Window cleaners. Don't bother with the window cleaners, okay? All you need is hot water, newspaper, and vinegar, okay, and this will do the job brilliantly, okay? So what you want to do is, first of all, what you want to do is clean the window frame, and with that I would use washing up liquid, water with washing up liquid in one of those sponges. With the Brillo one is pretty good, because if you've got anything stuck on there, you can get it off with a Brillo. If not, you can wipe it with the sponge, and then rinse. Make sure you get rid of all that detergent, and then fill a bucket with hot water and just a little bit of vinegar, and then a handful of newspaper, and then wipe it round, and then keep using slightly drier bits. So is the window dry? So what you're doing, you're covering it all with vinegary water. Now the reason this works is a lot of things you buy, window cleaners, have got alcohol in. Now alcohol, if you put lots of alcohol in something, things evaporate quickly. That's why they call it a spirit, because it turns into a vapor, which is like a kind of a spirit. And if vinegar is the same. And also vinegar cuts through grease. So there's two things. If it cuts through grease, and it evaporates quickly. So get yourself plenty of newspaper. And so first of all, you want a kind of fairly soggy newspaper wipe all around the frame. Then you get a dry piece of newspaper. You don't dip it, and then you kind of you wipe it with that, and then you might need to kind of do that about 3 or 4 times, progressively new dry bits of like a ball of newspaper around that, and that will give you squeaky clean windows. It'll have the same effect as the alcohol stuff that you might have bought. Nothing toxic or nasty in there, and it does the job. Okay, it does a really good job. Never clean windows at night. Do the outside before you do the inside. What else? Don't wear rubber gloves while you do this, because the newsprint on the newspaper will just stain the rubber. Well, I suppose it doesn't matter, does it? If you're using the rubber gloves and then you're throwing them out. But if you want nice, bright yellow or bright pink, clean-looking rubber gloves, don't do this because they'll become stained. They'll be all black stained. You might not like that. That probably doesn't matter. So the other thing for vinegar you can use for lots of things, but Limescale. Okay, now some areas where you live, you can have water which is going to have a different pH. Okay, so if you live in an area where there's acidy water, you're not going to get Limescale. Okay, but if you live in areas where the water is drawn from an area where there's lots of limestone, you're going to get Limescale. So what Limescale, is like it's the same stuff that makes stalactites and stalagmites really, but it will build up. So where your tap is, particularly if you've got a drippy tap, you'll have kind of little white eventually a white crusty calcite kind of formation below where the tap drips, and you'll get this in the toilet. Okay, and they try and sell you bleach and various bleach-based products and say this will clear Limescale, but that doesn't make sense, does it? Because Limescale is alkali. Okay, so and bleach is alkali, so it ain't gonna, it's not gonna be very effective, and God knows what chemicals we're putting into, you're breathing in, what chemicals you're flushing into the water system, all that kind of thing. Vinegar, vinegar is acid that will break down the Limescale like nobody's business, and vinegar is cheap as chips. Okay, and you put it on chips. So yeah, just share that one with you. Now, just as a final kind of little bonus fact to throw in, because this channel we also do lots of tangents, and if I think of something along the way, I'll share it with you. So being a Pom, being a Brit, living in New Zealand, they're funny here, they don't put vinegar on their chips. Really weird. And I have been on a bit of a mission to introduce my new fellow country people to the benefits of this, and I've met kind of mixed reactions really. Some have really loved it and kind of taken it off, and some have kind of thought it was kind of weird and really not got it. But how can you have fish and chips without, or fish and chips as they call it here, how can you have fish and chips without vinegar? It's insane. It's just not righteous really. It's also good because it breaks down the fat. So you put vinegar on chips. This is my understanding that you're less likely to get indigestion. It will kind of help you digest that fat. So there you go. Cleaning. It's not very often I talk about cleaning. So obviously, I'm recording this at the time of the virus. You want to be wiping things out, particularly if it's a communal building or a business premises, not a business premises, business premises. You want to be wiping things down with, take advice on what kind of product to use that's going to be disinfecting. Okay, because I'm just talking about kind of normal standards of clean. Okay, but it's a slightly different ball game when we're trying to slow the spread of this virus. So I hope that's helpful. That'll save you some money. Help maybe protect the planet a little bit and expose you to fewer nasties, and you'll get a better result. You'll get you'll have a cleaner and a Brillo. That's all. For cleaning sinks, Brillo and washing up liquid. And washing up liquid will do almost anything really. Half these cleaning products are just a waste of time and a waste of money. So there you go. Hope that's helped you. Rangimarie.